The most important relationship you will ever have is not with another person, but with yourself. And this simple truth has the power to transform your entire existence. For decades, we have been taught that being alone is something to fear, avoid, or fix. We are told that finding the right person is the ultimate goal, the key to happiness, the solution to all of life's challenges. But what if everything we have been taught about relationships and personal fulfillment is fundamentally wrong? I have counseled thousands of people who tried desperately to fill their lives with relationships, believing that this was the only path to happiness. Each one of them was running from themselves, avoiding the most important relationship they would ever have, the one they maintained with their own spirit. They sought outside what could only be found within. When you choose to live alone, something miraculous happens. The noise of the world begins to fade, and for the first time you can hear your own inner wisdom. That wisdom has always been there, waiting patiently beneath the surface of your busy life, hidden among the constant compromises and adjustments that come with sharing your space and your life with another person. Think of all the energy you spend managing relationships, the emotional effort, the constant negotiations, the subtle adjustments to your own preferences to keep the peace. Now imagine channeling all that energy into your own growth, your own dreams, your spiritual evolution. That is the power of choosing to live alone. But let us be clear, this is not about isolation. It is not about building walls or shutting yourself off from love. It is about creating a foundation of self-knowledge so solid that no external circumstance can shake it. When you truly know yourself, when you are completely at ease with your own company, you become capable of forming deeper connections than ever before. I worked with a man who had spent 20 years in various relationships, always believing that the next one would make him feel complete. He was successful in his career, appreciated by his colleagues, and yet there was always a persistent emptiness inside him. After his third divorce, he made a decision that everyone thought was radical. He chose to live alone, not as a stopgap until someone new came along, but as a conscious, deliberate choice. The transformation I witnessed in him was profound. Within months, the desperate need for validation began to fade. He started rediscovering passions he had abandoned years before. He went back to painting, began meditating, and started writing the book he had always dreamed of. But the most remarkable change was in his eyes. They reflected a peace I had never seen in him. This is what living alone can do for you. It creates space for your authentic self to emerge. When you are not constantly adjusting your behavior to suit someone else's preferences, when you are not regularly sacrificing your own desires for the sake of harmony, you begin to rediscover who you truly are. In relationships, we often become so entangled in someone else's energy that we lose sight of our own. We adopt their habits, their preferences, their ways of thinking. Sometimes these changes are so subtle we do not even notice them, but over time they can lead us away from our true path. Living alone allows you to reclaim your own rhythm. You eat when you are hungry, not when it is convenient for someone else. You sleep when you are tired, not according to another person's schedule. You can spend an entire weekend in contemplative silence if that is what your soul needs, without having to consider whether someone else will find it boring or antisocial. But the benefits go far beyond these practical freedoms. When you live alone, you develop what I call emotional sovereignty, the ability to maintain your emotional balance without relying on external validation. You learn to live with your emotions, all of them, even the uncomfortable ones, without needing another person to soothe them. Many people fear that living alone means feeling lonely, but loneliness is not caused by a lack of company. It is caused by a lack of connection with yourself. When you are truly connected with your own spirit, you are never alone. You are in constant communion with the source of all creation, with the infinite wisdom that resides within you. I have observed that people who choose to live alone often develop extraordinary levels of intuition. Without the constant influence of another person's energy, they become more attuned to their inner guidance system. They make decisions more easily because they consult only one authority, their own inner wisdom. This does not mean they never seek advice or value other people's opinions, but they process this information differently. Instead of looking for someone to tell them what to do, they use others' perspectives as reference points, always filtering them through their own inner knowing. The path of living alone also confronts you with your shadows, those parts of yourself you may have been avoiding by staying busy with relationships. This confrontation, though challenging, is where true growth occurs. When there is no one else to blame for your mood, no external energy to absorb or deflect, you are forced to take full responsibility for your emotional state. This level of personal responsibility is immensely empowering. You begin to understand that you are the author of your own experience. Your happiness, your peace, your sense of fulfillment. None of these depend on another person. All of it comes from within you. One of the most beautiful aspects of choosing to live alone is the quality of silence it brings into your life. Not only outer silence, but inner silence. When you are not constantly processing another person's moods, needs, and preferences, your mind grows quiet. This mental space allows deeper insights, greater creativity, and a stronger connection to your spiritual nature. Let me share something profound that most people never realize. The universe has a curious way of testing our commitment to personal growth. When you choose to live alone for the first time, opportunities for new relationships often arise. It is like a cosmic test. Will you remain faithful to your path of self-discovery, or will you fall back into old patterns of seeking fulfillment outside yourself? This is where most stumble. At the first hint of loneliness, at the first encounter with an attractive person who shows interest, they abandon their journey of self-discovery. But those who stand firm discover something extraordinary. They develop what I call spiritual self-reliance. Spiritual self-reliance is not about independence in the conventional sense. It is about recognizing that everything you have been seeking in relationships, love, safety, companionship, understanding, already exists within you. You are complete, whole, and perfect as you are. When you are alone, you begin to notice the subtle ways you have been compromising your truth. Perhaps you have been dimming your enthusiasm because someone else found it overwhelming. Perhaps you have been stifling your creativity because it did not align with another person's, or suppressing your spiritual practices because they made someone uncomfortable. Living alone gives you permission to be fully yourself, without apology. Do you want to meditate at 3 in the morning? Go ahead. Do you feel like rearranging the furniture according to feng shui principles? No one is stopping you. Do you want to spend an entire weekend in contemplative silence? The space is yours. And here is what is truly fascinating. When you develop this level of comfort with yourself, your relationships with others actually improve, because you no longer relate from need. You can connect with others from a place of wholeness. You are not looking for someone to complete you because you are already complete. Consider the freedom this realization brings. When you know you are perfectly capable of creating your own happiness, you stop expecting others to make you happy. When you understand that peace comes from within, you stop seeking it in a relationship. This is true liberation. I have seen people transform their lives completely through the conscious choice to live alone. They discover talents they did not know they had, develop interests they had never considered, and create lives so rich and satisfying that they inspire those around them. One of the most powerful aspects of living alone is the ability to maintain what I call energetic clarity. When you share space with another person, your energies mingle and influence one another. But when you live alone, you can maintain a pure connection to your own energy field. This clarity allows you to make decisions that are truly aligned with your highest well-being. Think about how many decisions you make in an ordinary day that are influenced by someone else's preferences or expectations. What to eat, when to sleep, how to spend your free time. Even the smallest choices carry the weight of compromise when you are in a relationship. But when you live alone, every choice becomes an opportunity to honor your own truth. This does not mean you become selfish or inconsiderate of others. On the contrary, when you are deeply connected to yourself, you develop a natural compassion for others. You understand that each person is on their own journey, and you can support them without feeling responsible for their happiness. Living alone also allows you to develop a deeper relationship with silence. In our noisy world, silence has become rare and precious. But it is in silence that we hear our inner wisdom most clearly. It is in silence that we connect with our spirit. It is in silence that we find the answers to our deepest questions. When you embrace life alone, you create space for this sacred silence. You learn to savor quiet moments, to find comfort in stillness, to discover the rich inner world that exists beyond the bustle of daily life. This path also teaches you about true abundance. Many people believe that living alone means missing out on the richness of life. But those who choose this path discover that abundance is not about having more things or more relationships. It is about having a deeper connection with yourself and with life itself. Now let us speak of something society rarely discusses: the profound spiritual awakening that often occurs when you choose to live alone. It is not merely about having your own space, it is about creating a sanctuary for the evolution of your soul. When you live alone, something remarkable begins to happen with your energy field. Without the constant mingling of other people's energies, you start to recognize your own unique vibration. You begin to understand what truly resonates with your spirit and what does not. Consider how many times you have made decisions based on maintaining harmony in a relationship rather than following your inner guidance. Even simple choices, what music to play, what food to eat, when to go to bed, are often compromises. When you live alone, every choice becomes an opportunity to align with your authentic self. But there is an even deeper level to this journey. Living alone creates the perfect conditions for what I call spiritual autonomy. This is the state in which your connection with the divine becomes direct and personal, without anyone else mediating it. One of the most powerful revelations arrives when you realize that the love you have been seeking in relationships is already within you. It is not something you need to obtain from another person. It is your natural state of being. When you live alone, you have the space to experience this truth directly. I have seen countless people discover this. They come to understand that the longing they felt was not really for another person, but for a deeper connection with themselves. When they finally establish that connection, the quality of their time alone transforms from loneliness to luminosity. Living alone also allows you to develop what I call emotional mastery. Without the buffer of another person's presence, you are compelled to face your emotions directly: joy, sadness, anger, fear. You learn to be present with each feeling without needing someone else to alleviate it. This emotional mastery becomes your foundation for true independence. Not the kind that pushes people away, but the kind that allows you to connect with others from wholeness rather than need. The journey of living alone also brings you face to face with your own creativity. Without the distractions and compromises of shared space, you discover new ways to express yourself. Your home becomes a canvas for the expression of your soul. Your time becomes a medium to explore your innate gifts. But perhaps the deepest aspect of living alone is the opportunity it provides for intense spiritual practice. When your space is truly yours, you can create rituals and practices that nourish your soul without having to explain or justify them. You may naturally wake at dawn to meditate, feel called to spend entire afternoons in contemplative silence, or discover that your deepest insights arise during solitary walks or while writing in the quiet hours of the night. This is the kind of spiritual freedom that is often difficult to sustain in relationships. When you live with someone else, their energy, schedule, and needs inevitably influence your practice. But living alone allows you to follow your inner guidance without compromise. Living alone also teaches you about true abundance. Many fear that choosing solitude means choosing scarcity, fewer experiences, fewer connections, fewer opportunities for joy. But those who embrace this path discover exactly the opposite. They find that by not constantly dividing their energy between themselves and others, they have more to give to everything they do. This abundance manifests in surprising ways. You may discover your creativity flourishing when you are no longer unconsciously editing your ideas to suit others' preferences. You may notice your professional life taking off when you can focus fully on your goals without balancing another person's career needs. The quality of your relationships also tends to improve dramatically. When you do not depend on others to feel complete, you can connect with them from genuine interest rather than need. Your friendships grow deeper, your family relationships more authentic, and any romantic connection you choose to pursue arises from choice, not necessity. Now let us address one of the most common concerns people have about living alone: the fear of missing out on life's big moments. Society has conditioned us to believe that the most meaningful experiences happen in relationships, that memories are somehow less valuable if they are not shared. But this is another misconception that keeps us from embracing our potential to live alone. The truth is that when you live alone, you become more present to the magic of life. You develop what I call sovereign awareness, the ability to experience each moment fully without filtering it through someone else's perspective. Think of watching a sunset. When you are alone, you do not need to put the experience into words or check whether someone else is appreciating it in the same way you are. You can simply be with the moment, letting it touch your soul directly. This is the kind of pure experience that solitary life facilitates. The journey of living alone also develops your intuition in remarkable ways. Without the constant input of another person's thoughts and opinions, you learn to trust your own inner guidance system. You begin to recognize the subtle signals your spirit sends, the quiet promptings that often get drowned out by the noise of relationships. One of the most powerful aspects of living alone is the opportunity it offers for what I call identity alchemy. This is the process of transforming who you think you should be into who you truly are. In relationships, we often maintain certain masks: the good partner, the accommodator, the peacemaker. But when you live alone, these masks naturally fall away. Living alone also teaches you about true security. Many people stay in relationships because they believe that having someone else in their life makes them feel safer. But true security does not come from external circumstances. It comes from knowing you can handle whatever life brings. This sense of security changes how you move through the world. You stop making decisions from fear, stop settling for less than you desire, and develop what I call spiritual courage. Follow your truth, even when it runs counter to what is expected. By living alone, you also develop a different relationship with time. Instead of viewing solitary moments as something to fill or avoid, you begin to appreciate the space they offer. You discover that time alone is not empty. It is fertile ground for personal and spiritual growth. This shift in perspective changes everything. Solo weekends become opportunities for self-discovery rather than symptoms of social lack. Nighttime hours become precious moments for reflection instead of gaps you need to fill with distractions. Your home becomes a sanctuary, not merely a place to sleep. Living alone also allows you to develop what I call emotional sovereignty. This is the ability to maintain your emotional balance regardless of external circumstances. When you live alone, you learn to be your own source of comfort, your own source of joy, your own support. This emotional sovereignty becomes especially valuable in difficult times. Instead of seeking external fixes or distractions, you develop the skill to sit with difficulty, process it, and learn from it. This is how true emotional maturity develops. But perhaps most importantly, living alone teaches you about love. Real love, not the dependent kind society often promotes. You learn that love is not about need, possession, or completing one another. Love is a state of being you can access at any time because its source is within you. This understanding transforms all your relationships with family, with friends, and with potential romantic partners. When you know you are whole in yourself, you can connect with others from fullness rather than emptiness. Your relationships become choices, not needs. Living alone also gives you the opportunity to develop what I call spiritual rhythm. It is your natural way of moving through life, without the influence of having to synchronize with someone else's patterns. You may discover that your most productive hours are at dawn, or that you do your best creative work at midnight. When you live alone, you can honor these natural rhythms without compromise. Allow me to share what I believe is the greatest gift of living alone: the discovery of your own inner magnificence. When you strip away the layers of compromise, when you leave behind the constant negotiation of shared life, when you fully occupy your own space, you discover something extraordinary. This is not about rejecting connection or isolating yourself from the world. It is about understanding that true connection with yourself, with others, and with the divine can only occur when you are firmly rooted in your own truth. Think of the energy you have spent trying to maintain relationships that did not serve your highest well-being. Think of the compromises you made that led you away from your path. Think of the dreams you postponed because they did not fit another person's vision of life. Now imagine channeling all that energy into your own growth, your own evolution, your own spiritual journey. That is what living alone offers you. Not isolation, but liberation. Liberation from the need to conform, from the pressure to compromise, from the exhaustion of trying to be what someone else needs you to be. When you choose to live alone, you are making a profound statement to the universe. You are saying, I trust myself, I value my path, I am willing to face whatever arises within me. This declaration sets powerful forces in motion. The universe responds to this level of self-trust by bringing you exactly the experiences you need for your evolution. The choice to live alone is not a rejection of love. It is an embrace of the highest form of love. It is choosing to love yourself enough to give yourself the space you need to become who you are destined to be. It is choosing to love others enough to stop using them as emotional crutches or as distractions from your own growth. The world needs more people who have done this inner work. It needs more people who have faced their fear of solitude and discovered the strength that lies beyond it. It needs more people who understand that true power does not come from controlling others or depending on them, but from being fully and authentically themselves. So as you leave here today, I want you to consider this possibility. What if the path you have been avoiding, the path of living alone, is actually your path to liberation? What if what you fear most is, in fact, the doorway to your greatest growth? Remember, you are not merely choosing a lifestyle, you are choosing a path of profound personal transformation. You are choosing to trust that the universe has something magnificent in store for you, something that can only be discovered in the sacred space of solitude. The journey of living alone is not always easy, but it is always worthwhile. Every moment of solitude becomes an opportunity for deeper connection with yourself. Every challenge is a chance to develop greater emotional resilience. Every quiet night becomes a potential revelation. You are not meant to be half of something. You are meant to be whole on your own. When you understand this, truly understand it, everything changes. Your relationships become choices rather than necessities. Your time becomes yours to invest in what truly matters to you. Your life becomes an expression of your authentic self, rather than a compromise between your truth and someone else's. I invite you to consider this path, not as a temporary state until something better appears, but as a conscious choice to invest in your own growth, your own peace, your own evolution. Because when you choose to live alone from this perspective, you are not alone at all. You are in the best company possible, your own. Your journey towards self-discovery begins the moment you embrace solitude, not as a circumstance to endure, but as a gift to cherish. Let that journey begin today. Trust that everything you need is already within you. Trust that the path of living alone can lead you to the most important relationship you will ever have. Allow me to share what I believe is the deepest truth about living alone. It is not the end of your story. It is the beginning. It is not a departure from life. It is an arrival to your true self. Many here today may feel a shiver in their soul, a recognition of a truth beyond words. Perhaps you have felt this call to solitude, but have been afraid to answer. Perhaps you have sensed that there is something more waiting for you beyond the comfortable boundaries of conventional relationships. And you are right. There is more, much more. Living alone is not merely about having your own space. It is about creating space for miracles to occur. It is about opening the door for the divine to enter your life in ways that can only happen when you are truly available to receive it. I have witnessed countless transformations in people who embrace this path. People who thought they were choosing loneliness but found wholeness. People who feared they were choosing isolation but discovered connection, real connection. First with themselves and then with the entire universe. The world needs people who have done this inner work. It needs individuals who have faced their fear of being alone and discovered the strength beyond those fears. It needs souls who understand that true power does not come from controlling or depending on others, but from being fully, authentically themselves. Your journey towards self-discovery begins the moment you embrace solitude, not as a circumstance to endure, but as a gift to cherish. Because when you choose to live alone from this perspective, you are not alone at all. You are in the best company possible, your own. You are not meant to be half of something. You are meant to be whole on your own. When you understand this, truly understand it, everything changes. Your relationships become choices, not needs. Your life becomes an expression of your authentic self, rather than a compromise between your truth and someone else's. The power of living alone becomes most evident when you understand this fundamental truth. Every moment you spend alone becomes a portal to deep self-discovery. Every quiet morning becomes an opportunity for innovation. Every solitary night becomes a ceremony of self-love. I want you to imagine something for a moment. Imagine waking up in a space that is completely yours, not only physically, but energetically. A space where every object, every color, every scent reflects your authentic self. Not your compromised self, not your adapted self, but your true self. Now imagine carrying that energy of authenticity into the world. When you are rooted in your own being, when you are not carrying the weight of relational dependencies, you become a beacon. Others are drawn to your light, not because you are trying to attract them, but because you are simply being who you are. This is what living alone offers you, not just a physical space, but a spiritual launch pad. It is from this foundation that you can create the life you have always dreamed of, without the constant negotiation of shared living, without the subtle compromises that wear down your dreams. You are free to pursue your highest calling. Some of you might be thinking, but what about love? What about companionship? Here's the revolutionary truth. When you master the art of living alone, you don't experience less love, you experience more. Because you're no longer trying to extract love from others, you become a generator of love. You become love itself. Think of the most powerful figures in history, the great philosophers, mystics, and innovators. Many of them chose seasons of solitude, not because they were antisocial, but because they understood that certain kinds of growth only happen in the fertile soil of being alone. You're not merely choosing a lifestyle. You're choosing to join the ranks of these pioneers of consciousness. You're choosing to be one of those rare individuals who dare to discover what lies beyond society's prescribed path. The world is in desperate need of people who have done this work. It needs individuals who have faced the seeming void of solitude and discovered it isn't a void at all, but the birthplace of authenticity. It needs people who understand that real strength isn't found in dependency, but in courage. Every person who masters the art of living alone becomes a light for others. Without saying a word, you demonstrate that there is another way to live. Your very existence challenges the narrative that we need constant company to be whole. As you walk out of here today, take this truth with you. The path of living alone is not a path of lack. It is a path of abundance. It is not a path of isolation. It is a path of fullness. The path of solitude is, in fact, the path back to yourself. Once you truly come home within, you are never again without a home. No matter where you go, no matter what life brings, you carry that sense of home inside you. The decision to live alone is the decision to trust yourself completely. It's the choice to believe that everything you need is already within you. It's the resolve to stop looking outside for what can only be found within. This is your invitation to step into that truth, to claim your birthright of self-reliance, to discover the joy, the power, and the profound peace that come from being fully at home with yourself. The path is calling. The universe is inviting. Your own soul is urging you into this journey of self-discovery. Will you answer that call? Will you accept that invitation? Will you take that first step toward true freedom? The choice is yours, and within that choice lives everything you've been seeking. Your journey begins now. Thank you. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to live a life of unshakable peace and resilience? A life in which, no matter what challenges or setbacks arise, you meet them with calm, confidence, and unwavering strength? What if I told you that this kind of life is not only possible, it is your birthright as a human being? You see, we all have within us a core of inner peace and wisdom that remains untouched by the chaos and turbulence of the outer world. It is a place of pure awareness, where we are connected to something greater than ourselves, and where we can access a deep well of courage, compassion, and resilience. For most of us, that inner core gets buried beneath layers of fear, doubt, and limiting beliefs. We get caught in the drama and stress of daily life and start believing that our happiness and well-being depend on external circumstances beyond our control. But what if we could learn to access that inner core of peace and wisdom, no matter what is happening around us? What if we could cultivate an unshakable resilience, an inner strength that allows us to navigate even the hardest challenges with grace and ease? This is the power of living a life in which nothing can throw you off center. It's not about being perfect or never feeling difficult emotions. It's about having the tools and mindset to move through those experiences with balance and clarity. So how do we cultivate this kind of resilience and inner strength? It all begins with our thoughts and beliefs. Our thoughts profoundly shape our emotions and how we experience the world. When we habitually think in negative or fearful terms, we create anxiety and stress that can make even small challenges feel overwhelming. But when we learn to cultivate empowering, positive thoughts, our entire life experience begins to change. We start to see challenges as opportunities for growth, and we develop trust in ourselves and in life's unfolding. One of the most powerful ways to shift our thinking is through the practice of mindfulness. When we learn to be present and fully engaged in the moment, without getting lost in worries about the past or fears about the future, we reconnect with that inner core of peace and wisdom that is always available. Mindfulness allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions with curiosity and without judgment. Rather than being carried away by them, we recognize that thoughts are just mental events, not necessarily reflections of reality, and we can choose which ones to engage and which ones to let go. As we cultivate mindfulness, we also develop deeper self-awareness and self-compassion. We learn to treat ourselves with kindness and understanding, even in tough times, and we build a sturdy foundation of resilience and inner strength. Another key aspect of living a life in which nothing can destabilize you is learning to release attachment to outcomes. Too often, we cling to the idea that our happiness and well-being depend on achieving certain goals or getting particular results. But life is unpredictable and often outside our control. When we grip specific outcomes, we set ourselves up for disappointment when things don't go as planned. Instead, we can choose to focus on the journey itself, on the growth and learning that each experience brings, regardless of the result. We can cultivate trust and surrender, knowing that even the most challenging experiences ultimately serve our highest good and evolution. This doesn't mean we stop setting goals or taking action. It means we do so from a place of inner peace, without letting our well-being hinge on the final outcome. Detachment and trust in a larger plan beyond what we can presently see are essential. As we loosen our grip and practice surrender, we also deepen our connection with something bigger than ourselves. Whether you call it God, the universe, or a higher power, you begin to sense that you are part of something vast and interconnected, and that you are never truly alone. This sense of connection can be a profound source of strength and resilience, especially in times of challenge or uncertainty. When you feel part of something larger, you're less likely to be trapped by the small dramas of daily life, and more able to maintain perspective and purpose. Of course, cultivating a life of unshakable peace and resilience is a lifelong journey, not a one-time destination. There will always be new tests and experiences that stretch your inner strength and resolve. But as you keep practicing mindfulness, self-compassion, and detachment, you build a solid base of inner peace and wisdom that can hold you even in your hardest moments. You come to recognize that your true power and resilience arise from within, not from external circumstances or others' approval. You learn to trust yourself and the path you're on, knowing that every experience is an invitation to grow and evolve. As you deepen your connection with that inner core of peace and wisdom, you start to radiate a calm balance that profoundly impacts those around you. You become a source of strength and inspiration simply by embodying resilience and inner peace. So if you're ready to start living a life where nothing can shake you, know that the power to do so resides within. It begins with the willingness to look inward, to cultivate mindfulness and self-awareness, and to release attachment to outcomes. It means surrounding yourself with people and experiences that support your growth and evolution, and letting go of what doesn't serve your highest good. It means trusting life's journey even when it feels uncertain or challenging, and knowing that every experience is ultimately serving your expansion. Most of all, it means remembering that you are never alone, that you are part of something vast and interconnected that is always guiding and supporting you toward your highest potential. As you move into the world today, carry this message with you. Let it remind you of your inner strength and resilience, and invite you to cultivate a life of unshakable peace and wisdom. Know that whatever challenges appear on your path, you have within you the power to meet them with grace and ease. Trust yourself and the journey of life, and remember that every experience is an opportunity for growth and evolution. As you keep deepening your connection to that inner core of peace and wisdom, watch how your entire experience of life transforms. Notice how you begin to attract more positivity, abundance, and joy, simply by embodying resilience and inner strength. The truth is that when you live a life in which nothing can destabilize you, you become a powerful force for good in the world. You inspire others to connect with their own inner strength and resilience, creating ripples of positive change that reach far beyond your individual life. So embrace the path ahead with open arms, knowing that each step brings you closer to the unshakable peace and resilience you desire. Trust yourself in the universe, and know you are always being guided toward your highest potential. Remember, the power to live a life that nothing can shake lives within you. Look inward, cultivate mindfulness and self-awareness, and trust the journey of life. The rest will unfold in perfect harmony. The timing, alignment, peace, and resilience you seek will be yours. Because a life in which nothing can affect you is not about avoiding challenges, but about developing the inner strength and resources to face them with courage, compassion, and grace. It is about recognizing that every obstacle is an opportunity for growth and transformation, and that even your hardest experiences ultimately serve your highest good and evolution. It all begins with a simple shift in perspective. Instead of seeing challenges as threats or barriers, you can view them as invitations to grow beyond your current limits. You can choose to meet life with curiosity, knowing that every experience is a chance to learn something new about yourself and the world around you. As you cultivate this curiosity and openness, you develop deep trust in life's journey. You start to recognize that even when things don't go as planned, there is always a higher purpose and deeper meaning at work. This does not make you passive. On the contrary, living a life that nothing can throw off course requires courage and proactivity. It means taking bold, decisive action amid uncertainty, trusting yourself and your abilities even when the path ahead isn't clear. It means standing for what you believe in, even when it's unpopular or uncomfortable, and speaking your truth with clarity and conviction. It also means taking responsibility for your thoughts, emotions, and actions, rather than blaming or complaining about external circumstances. Ultimately, living a life that nothing can shake is about taking ownership of your experience of reality. It's about recognizing that, while you can't always control what happens, you can always choose your response and how you show up in adversity. As you claim responsibility for your experience, you develop a profound sense of empowerment and self-mastery. You recognize that you are the creator of your reality, and you have the power to shape your life and world in ways that align with your deepest values and aspirations. This empowerment builds over time. It's a lifelong journey of growth and discovery, full of lessons and opportunities. But as you continue to cultivate mindfulness, self-awareness, and a deep connection to your inner wisdom, you build an unshakable foundation of resilience that carries you through even the hardest seasons. You come to see that your true power and potential aren't found in outward circumstances or achievements, but in your capacity to be fully and authentically present in each moment, with courage, compassion, and grace. As you live from this place of authenticity and inner strength, you create ripples of positive change in the world around you. You become a beacon of hope and inspiration simply by embodying resilience, empowerment, and inner peace. You begin to attract people and experiences aligned with your highest values and aspirations, and you craft a truly extraordinary life, not because it's perfect or challenge-free, but because it's infused with meaning, purpose, and fullness. If you're ready to live a life that nothing can shake, know that the journey begins within. It starts with the willingness to look inward, to cultivate self-awareness and self-mastery, and to connect with the deep well of wisdom and resilience at your core. It means facing your fears and doubts with courage and compassion, trusting life even when it feels uncertain. It means surrounding yourself with people and experiences that support your growth and empowerment, and letting go of everything that doesn't serve your highest good. Most importantly, it means remembering that you are never alone, that you are part of something far greater than yourself, a vast web of interconnection and divine intelligence always guiding and supporting your unfoldment. As you move through your day, take a moment to connect with that inner strength. Breathe deeply, feel your feet on the ground, and remember that whatever comes, you have the power to meet it with grace, courage, and unwavering conviction. Trust yourself and the journey of life, and know that each step brings you closer to the purpose, fullness, and unshakable resilience you were born to live. Above all, remember that you are a powerful creator and a force for good in this world. Your thoughts, words, and actions shape reality in ways you can't yet imagine. By living a life that nothing can destabilize, you'll create waves of positive change far beyond your individual experience. The change you can catalyze extends far beyond you. So go out and live your truth with courage, authenticity, and unshakable resilience. Remember that you're supported at every step and that the universe conspires in your favor, even when it doesn't appear that way. Trust that as you continue to cultivate inner peace, self-mastery, and a deep connection to your divine nature, you'll experience levels of joy, freedom, and abundance you never thought possible. Because a life that nothing can shake isn't about reaching some distant goal. It's about embracing the journey and finding peace, purpose, and fullness in every moment, no matter what arises. It's about learning to dance with life, to flow with its highs and lows, and to find beauty and meaning even in your hardest experiences. And it's about remembering that your true power doesn't live in externals, but in your capacity to connect with the infinite source of wisdom, creativity, and resilience within you. From this point forward, let this be your practice and commitment to live each day with courage, compassion, and unshakable resilience, knowing you have the power to create an extraordinary life. Let this be your invitation to step into your highest potential, to embrace self-discovery and self-mastery, and to become a beacon of hope and inspiration for everyone around you. Above all, let this remind you that whatever challenges you face, you have within you the strength, wisdom, and resilience to rise with grace, ease, and unwavering conviction. You are a powerful creator and a force for good. Your thoughts, words, and actions can shape reality beyond what you can imagine. By living a life that nothing can shake, you'll generate an impact and influence that stretch far beyond your wildest dreams. So go live your truth, boldly, authentically, and with unshakable resilience. Trust life's journey and know that each step draws you closer to the purpose, fullness, and absolute freedom you were born to embody. Remember, whatever challenges arise, you have the power to meet them with courage, compassion, and unbreakable grace. You are stronger than you think and more powerful than you can imagine. Let this be your call to greatness, your invitation to step into your highest potential, and your reminder that a life of unshakable peace, joy, and abundance is truly possible for you. It all begins with a simple choice: to live each day with intention, authenticity, and a deep connection to your inner wisdom and resilience. As you make that choice again and again, day after day, you'll craft a truly extraordinary life, a life that nothing can shake, where every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth, transformation, and ultimate liberation. So breathe deeply, trust yourself and the path ahead, and remember, you've got this. The life of your dreams is closer than you think, and it only asks that you move forward with courage, conviction, and an unwavering commitment to your highest potential. Thank you for listening, and remember, you are capable of far more than you can imagine. Embrace your inner strength and resilience, and step into the world as a beacon of hope and inspiration. The world needs your unique gifts, and by living a life that nothing can shake, you'll share them with more ease, impact, and abundance than ever before. Have you ever felt that something in your life was just a little off, as though you were meant for more, but couldn't quite name it? I'm here to tell you, if you're seeing this, you've just shifted realities. You've found a message that will change your life forever. The world we live in is only one of countless realities beyond our perception. Every decision we make, every path we choose, spins out a new reality with its own unique circumstances and possibilities. And sometimes, if we're fortunate, We find ourselves in a reality perfectly aligned with our deepest desires and aspirations. You might be thinking, this sounds too good to be true. How can I know I've truly shifted reality? Let me ask you this. Have you ever had a dream so vivid that upon waking, you couldn't shake the sense it had really happened? In a sense it did, in another reality. Our minds are incredibly powerful tools. They can connect with the infinite possibilities beyond our physical world. When we focus our thoughts and energy on something with unwavering dedication and faith, we can manifest that reality into our experience. Think about a goal that once seemed impossible, but that you eventually achieved through persistence. You shifted your reality. You created a new set of circumstances by the power of your mind and your actions. But here's the point. Shifting realities isn't only about achieving goals or manifesting desires. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. It's about stepping into your full potential and living an authentic, wholehearted life true to who you are at your core. How do we do that? It begins with belief in yourself, with faith in your abilities and trust that the universe has a plan for you, even when you can't yet see it. It means laying down fear and doubt and embracing the unknown with open arms. It means taking risks, leaving your comfort zone, and being willing to fail on the way to succeeding. Above all, it means surrounding yourself with positivity and love. Seek people who lift you up, who believe in you, who inspire you to be better. Cultivate a mindset of gratitude and abundance. Focus on the good in your life, however small it may seem. When we shift our focus from lack and scarcity to abundance and possibility, we open to a whole new world of opportunities. Challenges become growth, and failures become stepping stones. That's when the magic begins. Synchronicities and lucky coincidences start appearing. You feel the universe conspiring in your favor, guiding you toward your highest good. And here's the key. Shifting reality isn't a one-time event. It's an ongoing process of growth and evolution. It asks you to stay open to new possibilities and be willing to release what no longer serves you. It asks for courage, bold action toward your dreams even when the path is unclear. It asks you to trust your intuition and follow your heart even when logic protests. And above all, it asks you to be kind to yourself. We're all works in progress. It's okay to make mistakes and stumble. Offer yourself the same compassion you'd offer a dear friend. If you're seeing this, know that you are exactly where you need to be. You have within you the power to create the reality of your dreams. You are worthy of all the abundance and joy the universe holds. And you are not alone. Countless others are shifting realities too, tapping their potential and living with purpose and passion. Don't be afraid to connect with those who share your vision. Ask for help when you need it. Offer help when others need it. In the end, we're in this together, part of a larger cosmic dance, a grand symphony of creation and manifestation. When we unite in love and unity, there is nothing we cannot do. So breathe deeply, close your eyes, feel the power of this moment. Sense the infinite possibilities within and around you. Feel the universe's love and support guiding you to your highest good. Then take the first step. Make the bold move toward your dreams. Trust yourself in the path ahead. With each step, you are shifting your reality and creating a brighter, more beautiful world for yourself and everyone around you. It won't always be easy. There will be obstacles and doubts. That's okay. Growth rarely happens in our comfort zone. It happens when we're stretched to our edges and discover strengths we didn't know we had. That's where the real magic lives, where we become the heroes of our own stories. Embrace the challenges, the discomfort, the unknown. Trust that everything is happening for your highest good, even when it doesn't look that way yet. The universe has a curious way of making things work out. It brings exactly what we need, exactly when we need it. Sometimes what we think we want isn't what's best for us. But when we surrender to life's flow, when we release attachments and expectations, the real blessings arrive. That's when we begin to see beauty and perfection in every moment, even the hard ones. That's when we live a life of true fullness and joy, not just surviving, but thriving. Not just going through the motions, but living with passion and purpose. You have the power to create that life. You can shift your reality and become who you were meant to be. It's a journey, not an overnight leap, but every step, every choice brings you closer to that vision. Along the way, be kind to yourself. Celebrate progress, however small. Surround yourself with people who inspire and uplift you. And enjoy the ride, savoring every moment and lesson, because that is what life is. The highs and lows, triumphs and trials, love and loss. It's all part of the beautiful tapestry of existence, woven in a cosmic dance of creation and destruction, birth and death, light and dark. And you, my friend, are an essential thread. You matter. Your story matters. Your dreams, desires, and passions matter. Don't be afraid to shine. Stand in your truth. Be unapologetically yourself in all your wonderful, messy, imperfect glory. That is what the world needs most. Authentic, heart-centered humans willing to show up fully and make a difference in their unique way. When you do, the true magic unfolds. You witness the ripple effect of your actions, the lives you touch, the hearts you inspire. You begin to see the world with fresh eyes full of wonder, gratitude, and awe at the beauty and miracles all around. And you realize that shifting realities isn't only about your life. It's about changing the world. It's about being a force for good, a beacon of hope and inspiration. Go shine your light. Live your truth. Make your difference in the way that feels most authentic and meaningful to you. With every step, with every reality you transform, you're changing more than your life. You're changing the world. You are part of a global awakening, a collective shift in consciousness unfolding all around us. Together, we can create a more loving, compassionate, just, and equitable world. A world where every person is valued and respected, every voice heard, every story honored. A world where we recognize our inherent interconnection, our shared humanity, and our collective responsibility to care for one another and for the planet we call home. If you're seeing this, know you are not alone. You are part of a global community of changemakers and reality shifters working for a brighter, more beautiful future for all. Know too that the universe is conspiring in your favor, guiding you to your highest good and greatest joy. Trust the journey. Trust the process. Above all, trust yourself. You are a powerful creator, a force of nature, a beacon of light in a world that needs it desperately. When you embrace that truth, when you step fully into your power and potential, there is nothing you cannot achieve. No reality you cannot transform. No dream you cannot manifest. No obstacle you cannot overcome. So breathe in, feel the power of this moment. Feel the universe's love and support carrying you forward. Then take that step, make that bold move. Trust yourself in the road ahead. With every step, you are shifting your reality and creating a brighter, more beautiful world for you and for us all. That is life's essence, the journey, the growth, the evolution, becoming the best version of ourselves and helping others do the same. Go live your truth, make your difference. Transform your reality moment by moment, choice by choice. And remember, the universe is always supporting you, guiding you, conspiring in your favor. Trust the journey, my friend. Trust the process. Most of all, trust yourself. You are a powerful creator, a force of nature, a beacon of light in a world that so deeply needs it. When you embrace that truth and step into your full power and potential, there is nothing you cannot do. Here's to shifting realities, to embracing our highest selves, and to creating a brighter, more beautiful world for all. May we all have the courage to take that first step, to trust ourselves and the path ahead. And may we all remember we are never alone, that we are always supported and guided by a loving universe that wants nothing more than to see us thrive. Go shine your light, my friend. The world is waiting for you. And as you continue this journey of transformation and embrace your highest self, remember, the path won't always be easy. There will be challenges, moments when you doubt yourself. Those moments, as hard as they are also invitations to grow. They are opportunities to go deeper within and find strength and resilience you didn't know you had. On the other side, you'll find you have grown in ways you never imagined, becoming a stronger, kinder, more integrated version of yourself. That is the journey of self-discovery, facing our fears, meeting our shadows, and emerging whole. Be gentle with yourself. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small. Forgive your missteps, they are part of learning. Surround yourself with people who support and elevate you, who believe in your dreams and your potential. We all need a community of kindred spirits to inspire us, challenge us, and remind us of our inherent worth. Seek those people, those kindred souls who share your values and vision. Build relationships rooted in mutual respect, compassion, and understanding. Together you become a powerful force for good. Now let me share one of the finest reflections from a dear friend, one with a brutal impact that has changed countless lives.